There's an old adage that in the soldier world, be careful of the old man who's in a job where you die young, because that dude knows some things. When our grandfather gave me my first salute, the thing he told me when I got my first salute as an officer, keep your eyes up and your ass down and listen to your NCOs. You don't know. Grandpa Mike was a little bit blunt and a great, great Navy man. That's what I'd say to people coming into the technology market. Keep your eyes up, keep your ears open, listen to people who've come before you and learn.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Incident Report presented by Quest Technology Management. I'm Paul Burke, Director of Technology Communications. Every week, I'm joined by VP of Sales and Partnerships, Adam Burke. The Incident Report brings you conversations with thought leaders, business innovators, and channel mavericks to help you stay productive and agile in a changing technology landscape. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Incident Report. This is episode 69. I do not do this show alone. I'm excited and thrilled to welcome back my brother, Adam Burke. How are you doing?
Good to see you, Paul. Excited to be here. Pumped up about this episode. A lot of things going on. Nothing going on with the 49ers offense, though, man. I got to tell you, I'm really getting sick. This 3-0 or 0-3 kind of run they're on right now. I'm a little disappointed in the league that they pay for play. Not fun, not good, not enjoying it. But that's a sidetrack. I know people don't come here for our sports commentary, but I got to vent a little bit. I'm getting really tired of the 49ers blowing it.
It's weird to go on a 5-0 run and then suddenly flip the script and go 0-3. And not against teams that are challenging.
All due respect to the Bengals fans out there, that was an ugly, ugly game. Not excited about it. Disappointed. And then the Diamondbacks lost. We're coming off the World Series. Diamondbacks, Texas Rangers, good thing. You know, there are only now 5 Major League Baseball teams that have not won a World Series. Now that the Rangers have finally won theirs, so good thing the Rangers. Congratulations, but it was tough to see the Diamondbacks lose.
To put you on the spot, do you know the other 5 teams? I don't. So this is not like a gotcha question, but do you know the 5 teams?
Tampa and Seattle and the Padres. I know those are the 3. I don't know the other 2, but I know Tampa. I know the Rays, the Seattle and the Padres have never won.
Okay. Well, if you know the other 2 and you're watching, leave a comment for us so we can get smarter. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Please do. And for anyone still listening, I promise we're going to get to channel topics at least in the next half hour.
I say we get to it in the next 3 seconds, like right now.
Fire it up, Paul. Fire it up.
Adam, partners must embrace cloud marketplace for survival. So says Channel Futures. This discussion took place at the Channel Futures Leadership Summit. Keynote speaker was Vince Minzoni.
Yeah, the ultimate partner.
Ultimate partner.
And shout out to the ultimate partner. He's got his own podcast called The Ultimate Guide to Partnering. So check that out. Not that I've been on it, but you know, everyone's got podcasts. Need to check it out. The marketplaces and the hyperscalers. One of the most interesting kind of factoids in this little article here that I found interesting was towards the bottom, basically saying that $45 billion is predicted to flow through this by the end of 2025. And believe it or not, 2025 is a year away, basically. And that 80% of that is going to go through the big three hyperscalers, right? So the Microsofts, the Amazon Workspace, and the Google Cloud marketplaces. So we talked about this a couple episodes back. Organizations, how people are buying things, how people are implementing, and really that consolidation into where people are acquiring their technology. I think we're continuing to see that, and we're in the channel market, right? Everyone we work with is selling somebody's kit. We're either selling software, selling hardware, selling solutions to address clients' problems, and how people are sourcing that, it's continuing to evolve. So it was cool to see. I think this is going to be a continued kind of promoted talk track. A lot of people are pushing organizations to get to these marketplaces.
For the channel partners out there, do you think, and this, I mean, just one man's opinion, Adam, and we're all interested in hearing your thoughts on this. How can channel partners best position themselves to take advantage of the hyperscaler marketplaces? Is there anything that you think they can do to best position themselves?
I think you just got to pay attention. Don't be surprised. It's like, don't wait for 2 years to go by and then look back and be like, oh, wow, that was an area that we didn't even know existed. You don't have to build you talk to Microsoft or Google or AWS channel teams, and they'll want you to build a practice. I'm doing air quotes right now. Build a practice. Everyone kind of wants you to build a practice around these platforms, and that's cool. That gets your attention on their systems and gets you funneling business through them. I don't know if you have to do that. Maybe stand back, wait and see who's going to dominate or who's going to fit more of your culture. But
Mm,
definitely be aware of it. Be aware that your customers can source easily from workspaces. Your clients, when they're asking you for a quote or they're asking you for a proposal, don't get blindsided that there used to be a little bit more fogginess in the licensing game, right? For costs and how things are sold. If you have Google, you can source things and you can look up pricing very easily. Now, the danger of that, here's the danger of that, right? The danger side of that, we always talk about the two-sided sword of convenience, right? You got the ability to DoorDash food anytime you want. The downside of that is maybe you're not getting up off the couch and there's some ramifications of DoorDashing a bunch of food. So there's the convenience and there's the penalty that goes along with it. What
mhm,
happens with these workspaces is there's a convenience around getting pricing very, very easily for the underlying technology, but actually implementing that and actually getting it to work and then actually buying the appropriate tool to address the need you have is still a skill set. I was on a quick call with a gentleman earlier today who was looking at an idea of privilege access management. Now, privilege access management is a defined term within what's called the NIST framework, right? So there's a framework of security features that need to be implemented in order to execute against privilege access management. That's all great stuff. And this gentleman was just kind of Googling pricing. He's like, oh, look, I think I can buy it for $2 a user over here, because he typed in a couple keywords and then started clicking. Very dangerous position to put yourself in, because if you're
mm,
selling that to someone and saying, this is what I think I can buy it for, you really have to know what that's actually going to address versus the requirements they're getting put out there in front of you. So things like security, privilege access management, zero trust, these are all framework discussions that you can't just throw into a marketplace, right? You can't, it's like asking someone how much does a house cost?
mhm,
Kind of depends, right? Now you can go to Home
mhm.
Depot and buy a bunch of drywall and some lighting, but is that the house that your wife or significant other wants?
I think you mentioned something very important, Adam. DoorDash. Is there, this is completely off the topic, but I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any food that you have felt guilt and shame about ordering on DoorDash? Now, for you, you're pretty healthy, so I'd imagine extra protein bars or something is what you would order and feel guilt about.
Yeah.
For me, I'll let everybody know, I've ordered Cold Stone on DoorDash. That's what I feel shame about, Adam. How about you?
Well, Paul, I say this with love since you're my brother. I don't have strangers bring me my food in their own personal vehicles, and nothing against
Mm,
DoorDash. They're
yeah.
fantastic, and I'm sure they'll be profitable someday. But no, I don't use DoorDash ever.
So just the fact that I use DoorDash is the thing that should bring me the greatest amount of shame.
Yes, yes, I think ritual sumaku in the middle of your courtyard would be appropriate.
Okay. Well, that's nice. I don't have a courtyard, but if I do, Adam, then I'll be sure to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's seppuku.
Seppuku,
I
yeah,
think it's
sorry.
I'll fix it in post. I do want to ask Adam, what do you think are challenges and obstacles for partners who are wanting to enter the cloud marketplace? Or do you think pretty much just listening is the barrier? Like people think they know what's best and not listening to the market?
No, I think well, I think the exciting thing about marketplace and so full transparency, we've been doing this 40 years, right? We've built out practices, we've built out network operations, security operations, data centers, invested millions of dollars into our practices and our capabilities. And candidly, sometimes it's a bit annoying, not that you get cynical, but it's a bit annoying that some of these major vendors bypass all that investment and make it super easy for anyone who can fog a mirror to get into the game. And that's not
Hmm.
disparaging anyone. I just think it's a fantastic opportunity for anyone who wants to get into technology. The barriers to entry are very, very limited when it comes to resale, helping with a transaction, helping people understand a little bit more about what they can get from their licensing schemes and
Hmm.
things like that. But again, there's the convenience and then there's the danger. The danger is you're walking into a game that's been built over the last 50 to 70 years. right? A lot of software, a lot of compute, a lot of hardware, a lot of gamesmanship out there has been played for a long time, helping people get where they need to be from a technology standpoint. So there's an old adage that in the soldier world, be careful of the old man who's in a job where you die young, because that dude knows some things, right? He's
Hmm.
been in the game a while. Just be careful when you're getting involved in licensing, purchases, helping people operate their technology. It's serious business, right? It's not a slam dunk. So you got to be, I'd say if you're new to the game, welcome, but be respectful of what's come before you and really listen to those people who've been in the fight for a long time. And on Veterans Day, I talked about when our grandfather gave me my first salute. The thing he told me when I got my first salute as an officer was, keep your eyes up and your ass down and listen to your NCOs. You don't know. And that's something I would like to say to anyone getting into the technology space. Grandpa Mike was a little bit blunt and a great, great Navy man. But that's what I'd say to people coming into the technology market. Keep your eyes up, keep your ears open, listen to people who've come before you and learn.
Which originally was going to be the name of this podcast, but a little too wordy, a little too long.
A little too long. You got to tighten that up. You got to tighten that up.
Yeah.
I'm not in marketing.
Yes.
Maybe Darcy can help us out with that someday. So
also behind the scenes, you should all know this, that Darcy too has typed into the chat. She does not use those food services as well. So I guess it's just me on my little DoorDash island. That's okay. That's all right.
And here's the funny thing for people who don't know you. Paul is a huge germaphobe, a massive, massive germaphobe. Paul, you are letting strangers, who I'm sure are fantastic, wonderful people, transport your food. Have you ever seen the specials? Have you ever turned on 2020 or Dateline or anything like that? Come on, man. Come on.
I try not to think about it, Adam. I try not to think about it. It's laziness versus, I don't use DoorDash much anymore. I will say don't use it too much anymore, but
again, I gotta call bullshit on that one, brother, because you were at my house for about 20 minutes when you first came to visit last weekend. I walk into the room and you're trying to coordinate a Chipotle DoorDash coordination 2.5 hours before we go to a Chicago style dinner. So no, I do not believe that for 1 second. I want to see records. Let's see receipts.
But to be fair, Adam, you live in a hot place and you are not around any food. And I didn't have a car, Adam. I would have died. I would have collapsed before I ever made it to any food service place. So I was a man who was struggling to survive, and that was the only way I was going to get food. Your house is nice, but it's like a little oasis surrounded by nothing. So I needed food.
That's the way I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
what do we got next?
All right. Let's jump to a little Paycom. Adam, Paycom shares Tumble as popularity of its automated system eats into other revenue sources, which I had to read that title a couple times. And then I read the article, and it's pretty funny as long as you're not invested in Paycom.
Yeah, as long as you didn't have shares a couple days ago, it's relatively funny. Well, not funny, but it's interesting because before the pandemic, COVID and everything changed and all that kind of stuff, people were really, really concerned about the efficacy of technology becoming what's called a deflationary, impacting the economy from a deflationary standpoint. So deflating basically the value of things by the opposite of inflation, right? You don't need as much labor to get things done. You don't need as much people involvement in transactions. And deflation is a big deal for economies. All of a sudden, assets become less valuable. Well, Paycom kind of got a taste of that with they had this software. I think they called it Betty. I don't know what that stands for. It's an abbreviation for something. But basically,
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I'll do some research.
It's called Betty, and it was very effective. Right, it was extremely effective payroll software that their clients were using, and it was automation. So we talk about AI, and I was on a couple WebExes or a couple of training sessions a little while ago, joking about AI, the fact that it's been around for a long time, and it has. It's nothing new. Some of the large language models are new, and that's cool because you can cheat on college papers and cheat on certification tests and all that kind of good stuff. But it's a new software platform that they rolled out that cannibalizes basically other services. Other services like, hey, the payroll system hit a snag with these accounts, and they could do professional services dollars and go in there and fix that stuff. This was interesting to see. And it hit it in a substantial way. It really impacted the share price on a significant level. So I don't know if we're going to see this a lot out there, but it was interesting to see that they created a piece of software that actually saved their clients significant money. The only problem was that revenue was typically going back to Paycom as opposed to ROI for other services.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned it, but their stock dropped by a third, which is pretty substantial. And it hasn't been this low since 2019. Also, found out that Betty stands for Better Employee Transaction Interface.
Betty took a whack to their stock price. That definitely hurt them a little bit. But interesting to see that that's software optimizing services, but at the same time, that looks like it hit their revenue pretty hard.
Not great for Paycom.
They could probably put some marketing spin on that though. Someone's got to get out there and find the silver lining on that. I mean, it took that much a chunk out of their other services. It's got to be significantly helping people out.
We're so willing to help our customers. We're willing to slash our market value. Yeah, we want to help our customers so much, we're willing to slash our market price.
You go on LinkedIn and everyone wants to be Steve Jobs, and he was classic on that creative destruction model, right? So the idea of creating something that destroys your, you might have a moat or something new or different, but in order to keep moving the ball forward, you got to destroy that. And that was a big Steve Jobs kind of mantra out there, and maybe they can capitalize on it. Maybe they'll get the last laugh
Okay.
after all. Who knows?
You heard it here. Paycom the next Apple. So says Adam.
I did not
Good
say
to
I did
know.
not say that. That is fake
All
news.
right. Not great for Paycom, but Adam, you know what's good for Quest? Quest Bootcamp series.
The boot camp series is rocking. I know this is a little bit of a inside baseball kind of talking our own book here, but we're putting out a 6-part series on different areas of services that Quest provides. The first one was complex IT services and integration. We did one on cybersecurity. We're doing one next week, I believe on the 8th, around infrastructure services, and then we're going to go through things like application development. We're getting some great feedback. And honestly, I would love to say it was our idea, but like all great ideas, it came from our partners. So our partners let us know that, hey, we would love some additional training on different things you guys do. So about 2 years ago, we started doing capability reviews, and that's kind of spawned into this boot camp series. It's going really well. It's kind of just not speeds and feeds or tech talk really, but basically how do you help your customers in these different areas? How can you get involved in these different areas, and just walking people through that, because we live it every day. I think we sometimes take for granted we get to be on these sales calls and these operation calls every week, and we hear about hundreds of different opportunities every single week in different disciplines. So for us, it's a Tuesday. But for a lot of our channel partners, they don't necessarily get to see all those different diverse things all the time. So we want to kind of open that up a little bit, make sure it's very transparent, and yeah, it's been really well received. So I'm excited about that. We have them recorded on our partner portal, Quest Partner Portal, under our resources tab. I know you did a fantastic job working with the YouTube wizards to get that squared away. So that's all embedded in there. Yeah, real good.
It's there because partners were curious and wanting to learn more. So if people want access to those videos, partner portal, all that stuff, how would they go about doing that?
So questsys.com, go to our partner tab, and our partner portal will put the direct link in the notes as well. But yeah, just go to questsys.com and then just click on the partner link, and it'll take you right to the portal.
Beautiful. Yeah. This week, anything you're looking forward to, Adam?
Well, not next week, not coming up immediately, but we do have Channel Vision Expo coming up in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Talking Stick.
Yeah,
that's right. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That was a great event last year. We're looking forward to having that again this year. Then after that, after the week of the 13th, 14th, you're rolling right into the holiday season. That's always fun too. But also end of year projects. So I got the little end of year crunch going on for folks trying to get things done. So it's a busy time.
Nice. We're in it. Everybody listening, thank you for being here. Adam, thank you for sharing all your insights. Really appreciate it. Again, remember Paycom to the moon. It's the new Apple.
I did not say that, but everyone appreciate you coming here. I don't know if anyone subscribes to Corporate Bro. His counterpart is a spokesman for Paycom, and I think Betty, she's a spokesman for it. So I'm looking forward to some awesome Corporate Bro content about that one. I don't know if anyone else watches Corporate Bro, but if you don't, you should. And if you do and you have a problem with HR, please don't contact me. Have a great day.
Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. The Incident Report is brought to you by Quest Technology Management. With over 40 years of experience, Quest is a leading technology integrator working seamlessly with your staff and systems to achieve your IT goals. Learn more about everything they do at questsys.com. And if you have questions or suggestions for the podcast, you can always email Adam and myself at theincidentreport@questsys.com. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time.